Steelers fans, what's up? Before we jump into today's breaking update, let me say this loud and clear. This team is fighting every single week to get better, to tighten every detail, to sharpen every weakness, and to put a winning product on the field. And if you appreciate the effort from the players, from the coaches, and from us bringing you this coverage every day, do me a quick favor. Smash that like button so this video reaches more members of Steelers Nation. All right, let's get into the big story of the day. And trust me, there is a lot going on. The Pittsburgh Steelers will head into Week 11 against the Cincinnati Bengals without one of their top cornerbacks, and it couldn't come at a worse time. Darius Slay Jr. has officially been ruled out, still stuck in concussion protocol despite being upgraded to a limited participant late in the week. And here's the thing. Slay has had an up-and-down first year in Pittsburgh, sure, but against this Bengals offense, Joe Flacco slinging it deep, Jamar Chase playing like a cheat code, and T. Higgins winning every contested ball, the Steelers absolutely needed every veteran body available. And yet, here we are, another defensive starter down. Let me remind you just how chaotic Slay's year has been. Training camp, ankle injury. Week 2, shoulder versus Seattle. Week 3, leg contusion versus New England. Week 4 in Dublin, side injury versus Minnesota. Week 6, shoulder again versus Cleveland. Week 9, hand injury versus Indy. Week 10, the concussion that now knocks him out of the Bengals rematch. It has been one thing after another, yet somehow Slay always found a way to stay on the field. Until now. And it matters, because the Steelers' pass defense has been, well, let's just say it, dead last in the NFL, giving up 269.4 passing yards per game, the worst mark in the league. Now, you take away an experienced corner heading into a matchup with Chase, Higgins, and a Bengals team that hung 33 points and 342 passing yards on Pittsburgh just a few weeks ago. That's a problem. Here's how the secondary is expected to line up. Joey Porter Jr., the centerpiece, the lockdown guy. Brandon Echols, James Pierre, Jalen Ramsey at safety, Kyle Duggar at safety. There's also the lingering question, will Asante Samuel Jr. be elevated from the practice squad after signing earlier this week? If he is, even in limited snaps, Samuel could provide some much-needed athleticism and play recognition. But either way, the message is clear. Pittsburgh is going to rely heavily, and I mean heavily, on Joey Porter Jr. to survive this one. He'll likely shadow Jamar Chase again, and we all remember what Chase did last time. 16 receptions, 161 yards, and a touchdown. And remember, he did most of that against Jalen Ramsey, not even Joey Porter Jr. This week, Chase was asked about the upcoming matchup and about Porter in particular. His response? Handsy. Real handsy. I like any matchup with me. It don't really matter. I love the game. I love competing. That's a message. That's confidence. That's Jamar Chase basically saying, bring who you want, it won't matter. And you know what? That wasn't trash talk. That wasn't disrespect. That was a reality check, plain and simple. Now, let's be fair here. Joey Porter Jr. is a different player in 2025 than he was in 2024. He's more disciplined, more polished, more mature in his technique. He's been flagged only 4 times this season, which is a massive improvement. But Steelers fans remember last year's meltdown against Cincinnati. 6 penalties, 4 of them accepted, all of them momentum killers. Porter was too physical, too grabby, and the Bengals knew exactly how to exploit it. And Chase knows it too. But here's the key difference. This is not the same Steelers defense. Not even close. The Steelers have rebuilt the back end of this defense since that first matchup, and these aren't small tweaks. These are significant, system-changing adjustments. 1, Jalen Ramsey at safety. Ramsey isn't just a corner anymore. Pittsburgh has turned him into a hybrid safety, roaming, reading, jumping routes, erasing vertical plays, and he's thriving. 2, the Kyle Duggar addition. When Deshaun Elliott went down, Pittsburgh acted fast, trading for Kyle Duggar. And let's be honest, he has been fantastic.
In just 2 weeks, Duggar has brought leadership, tackling, and a physical presence Pittsburgh desperately lacked early in the season. Asante Samuel Jr. arrives. Samuel was added to the roster recently, and while it's unclear if he'll be elevated this week, his presence allows the Steelers to keep Ramsey at safety more often, which strengthens the entire structure of the defense. James Pierre playing the best football of his life. This one might surprise some fans. James Pierre, a guy many wrote off, is having his best season in the league. He's 8th in the NFL in pass breakups despite limited snaps. Why? Because teams think he's the easy target. Because when Slay goes down, which has been almost every week, Pierre steps in, and instead of getting exposed, he's winning matchups. Pierre has gone from depth corner to reliable plug-in starter. Here's the tough part. Darius Slay Jr. has exited almost every game this season with some kind of injury. Ankle, hand, shoulder, leg, concussion. It has been endless. He is still in concussion protocol heading into the Bengals game. If Slay is out and if Asante Samuel Jr. isn't activated, the Steelers may be forced to start James Pierre in one of the biggest matchups of the season. That's a huge responsibility, a huge opportunity, and a huge test for a player who has quietly risen this year. Pierre could be the X factor in this game. Let's be honest, nobody shuts down Jamar Chase, but you can contain him, you can redirect him, you can force Flacco into mistakes, you can funnel routes into help, you can disguise Ramsey, you can send pressure at the right times. And with the new personnel, Duggar, Ramsey at safety, maybe Samuel, and an ascending James Pierre, Pittsburgh actually has tools they did not have in the first matchup. But here's the bigger question. Can Joey Porter Jr. win the matchup when it matters most? Chase doesn't think it matters who he lines up against. Porter wants to prove it does. This is going to be one of the defining one-on-one battles of the entire AFC this week. So here's where we stand. The defense loses Darius Slay Jr. at the worst possible time. Joey Porter Jr. takes on the full weight of stopping Chase and Higgins. The pass defense is already ranked dead last. Meanwhile, the offense is fighting an identity crisis. Rodgers and Freiermuth want more Jaylen Warren. The coaching staff must decide whether to listen. This week could define the entire trajectory of the Steelers' 2025 season. No exaggeration. But now I want to hear from you. Do you agree with Aaron Rodgers and Pat Freiermuth? Should Jaylen Warren be the primary back moving forward? Or do you think the current rotation with Kenneth Gainwell is the right balance? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, do your boy a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a Steelers update. I'll see you in the next one, Steelers Nation. Here we go.